2005, we were running 3 companies out of our small office in Vancouver. The CEO of one made a decision to step aside and work on something else, and the other guys I was the exploration geologist. The guys came and said, "Hey, you know what? You're ready." And you look in the mirror and you go, "Really? You want me to stand up at PDAC and talk to a few thousand people?" But it was fun. It was a fun thing to do, and as you do more of it, it gets easier and it becomes more fun. So a little scary to start with, but it very quickly became a fun thing to do, to go out and tell the story and combine the science that you grew up doing with the excitement of talking to people, meeting investors, and raising the funds for the company to move forward. So sometimes you actually have to separate the emotional response, especially when the markets are going one way or the other, really. The ability to step back, step away, and analyze. It can be difficult. It can be a challenge to separate yourself from the day-to-day. Your stock is doing this, or your stock is doing that. It becomes pretty important when you're the decision maker, when you're the guy ultimately responsible for both a bunch of people who are relying on you, but also for a bunch of shareholders that you're walking along with. You actually have to sometimes make decisions that may not be popular in the moment, but which you think will benefit the shareholders and the people you're working with in the long term. And those are the tough ones. But you got to be able to break. You got to be able to break out of the emotional bit. You want it because you really want to be able to express it. You want to be able to tell people how excited you are. You want to use it. But at the same time, you sometimes have to kind of just say, you know what, this is the right thing to do. We're going to do it. 2018 is going to be real interesting for us. We've got 2 evolved assets that are both attracting a fair bit of third-party attention. And really, the company's kind of arcing into that realm where now it's about trying to maximize the value out of your assets. You've done the discovery work, and while we'll continue to look for others, because that's kind of our gig, now it's the business part really kicks in, the negotiating and finding the right tone to set for the third parties to get that those assets off and into other parties' hands at valuations that not only I can live with, the shareholders will be happy with. I mean, I've said a few times in the past that the kick for me in this business is every morning, whether I'm in the field with the guys or whether I'm just back in Vancouver, waking up and looking into my mail and seeing what they hit last night. The excitement of not knowing what's going to be there, good, bad, or indifferent, but every day there's a little charge first thing in the morning, and that gets you going. And so I think, just make sure you're doing something you love doing. Don't get trapped into something that is boring or dull for you. And if you can do that, number one, you'll be a happier person. You'll probably be a more successful person too.